got the crew cab finished up as far as we're going with it in the last video, so it's time to move on to the next project. This project's a pretty neat deal. It's not normally a job that I would take on, but it's a 15-year-old kid who's building his hot rod with his grandpa, and they're doing what they can do, and the stuff that they're not capable of doing, they're bringing it to me to do for them. So kind of a neat thing. Like I said, it's not something that I would normally take on, but I think it's cool that the car culture is moving on with another kid, and he's working with his grandpa, which I think is pretty neat. So I'm doing what I can to help him out. So here it is. It's a 1974 Chevy Nova. I put front and rear suspension on it for him before, all new ball joints, tie rods, springs, everything. It was all worn out. They had a motor built at a machine shop and they put that in themselves, but it's just got open headers right now, and the floor was rotted out, so they cut it out and bought a new floor pan for it. So they started to put it in and realized that it was more than they wanted to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the new floor pan back out and clean up all the channels and everything where it's gonna mount. And then I got a little metal punch. I'll go around and punch all the seams where it's gonna weld into the car. And then I will clean up the new floor pan, clean up the old metal. I'll get it all laid in there where it's supposed to be, and then we'll get this thing jacked up and spot weld it all back together like it was originally. And then there's some pieces that go back here that have to be welded on where the rear seat mounts to it. And they put the motor in and have brand new headers on it, but they didn't put any exhaust on it, so I got it here. I'm gonna go ahead and make an exhaust system too. So the next video or two is gonna be about doing the floor in this Nova and putting an exhaust system on it for this kid. So looking forward to it. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do here is get this new floor pan that they set in here popped back out, because I need to clean up all along this and both sides. And then I need to, got a little tool that punches holes in the tin so you can go in from underneath and spot weld it back in. These panels don't come pre-drilled, so I'll show you when I get to that point. There's a little tool that pops them out. It's like a hole punch for paper, but it's for metal. So I'll get this out of the way, and then we'll punch that, or we're just going to move it back, and then I'm going to get in here and assess the situation, make sure everything's structurally sound, and then I'll start cleaning it up. Okay, so looks like he put bolt-in subframe connectors in here, and those are all fine and dandy, but I think I'm going to go ahead and clean up the subframe connectors and weld them in to just make it a lot more strong. But first thing I'm going to do while I got the floor out of the way and I don't have that to fight with is go ahead and make my exhaust, because that way it's easier to do it from up here where I can see what I'm doing rather than trying to lay on the ground under the car and do it. So I'm going to go get some of the pieces for the exhaust, start mocking them up, and figure out where we're going to put it. These are the header collectors that we got. We ordered them from Summit. So it's just a slip-on style collector. I'm just bolting it to the headers, and then I can kind of set my mufflers in here, take a measurement, decide where I want them, and then I'll get some pipe and run it from the collectors back to the mufflers. And then we're just going to do like some 45-degree angles that kind of go underneath the frame in the back and aim out. So. Okay, got those in. I'll take you guys over and we'll open up the mufflers and show you what we got. Okay, these are the mufflers they ordered. They're Flow Effects by Flowmaster. This isn't sponsored at all. This is just the mufflers they picked and ordered. So they're kind of tubular, kind of like a glass pack. I've used them on other stuff before. They sound pretty good. So I'm going to take these and get them set up in the car about where I want them, and then I can figure out how much tube I'm going to run from my headers back to the mufflers. So we'll get set up in there and get going on it. Okay, so I got my muffler back in here. I just got it sitting on top of the box it came in. That's not going to be the actual height it's going to be at, but it'll allow me to get the measurement that I need. So I want to angle it right behind, right where the rear subframe starts. So I'm going to set my muffler about 5-6 inches in front of that, and then we'll just take a measurement from that collector I put on there and come back to about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch before the weld, where the muffler's welded together. So I'm going to need about 23 inches of pipe. I'll go out and grab that and get a piece cut. I'm trying to teach myself how to TIG weld, so this could either go good or completely terrible. I'm going to go with good, but we'll see what happens. If I try it and it's not working very well, I'll just pull my meg out and weld it up like I normally would, but trying to learn something new. I want to expand my things I can do. So just going to try to tack this on here, and then we'll get it in the muffler, get that tacked on, and then I'll come back and weld it all up. Okay, I got it tacked on there for second time I've ever welded. I'd say it's not terrible, but blew a little hole in it, but I think I should be able to fill that. So we're gonna go ahead and try to do it with the TIG if I can do it. Probably not gonna be the prettiest, but you won't never really see it under the car, so try it out, see what happens. We're gonna stick it in the muffler and tack the muffler on, and then I'll go ahead and weld it up. I'm gonna take these over and clean them up good, real good, and then I'll get back with you and we'll get it going again. Okay, I got this cleaned up. We're gonna go ahead and tack the muffler, and then we'll go and kind of dry fit it, and if everything seems good, we'll come back and weld it up. Okay, got it all tacked up. Not terribly bad. I'm gonna run over real quick and make sure it sits in the car good, and if it does, I'll come back and finish welding it up. Alright, looks good, so go ahead and weld it. I forgot to mention these mufflers I'm using are bi-directional, so it doesn't matter which way you put them. Alright, we got that all welded up. I got to run into town and get some 45s to go on the end, because I hadn't got those yet. So we'll let this cool down and run into town and get some 45s, and we'll set the pipe back in there, mark the 45s at the angle we want them to go at, and then we'll weld those on and one side will be done. Alright, I went and grabbed some 45s in town, and I'm going to go ahead and weld these up. Doesn't matter which direction I weld these on, because that collector where it goes to the header can spin 360 degrees. So I just want to make sure I get the pipes straight in the muffler, and then I can put them however I want to. Probably help if I went and got a welding unit before I try to start welding. Alright, I got the exhaust all welded up. Got it bolted back in. Just gonna come back, have mufflers, and then we got some little 45s that angle kind of out and down there in the back. See it on this side too. So I still gotta come up with some exhaust hangers and hang the exhaust and tighten up the flanges. I don't want to tighten anything up till we get it exactly where we want it. So figure out what I'm gonna do for hangers and where I'm gonna hang it, and then we'll get those mounted and we'll tighten the flanges up and we'll be good to go. Hey everybody. Haven't done any filming in about a week and a half. I came down with a real bad sinus infection, was sick, and then my baby was sick too, so had to take care of all that. I was gonna make this video on the exhaust and the floor pans, but I just want to get something up for you guys to watch, and I don't want to finish the exhaust all the way until I get the floor pans put in, because I want to get the exhaust set up as high as I can. So the exhaust is in, it's bolted up to the headers, it's just kind of hanging there. I got to straighten it up and put some hangers on it. Like I said, I want to wait until after I do the floor. So I'm going to end this video here, and I'll get this one up for you guys, and then I'll get started tomorrow on doing the floors, and I'll just make another video on that. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.